Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio program as we roll along. Some exciting news coming up when it comes to kids showing animals at a fair. As you may or may not be aware, there's been a lot of talk about the New Mexico State Fair and some of the vaccination policies there. So a Livestock Expo has been formed, and we have Tom Spindle on the line with us. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Gene. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here. Tom is a former commissioner on the New Mexico State Fair Board and been working really hard to help put together the New Mexico Youth Livestock Expo. Before we get into all that, Tom, have you, your family, you've been in ranching, you've been in agriculture all your life?
Pretty much, yes. I married my wife, Becky, 26 years ago, and we've been raising kids and cattle and everything in between for, I guess, 24, 25 years now, and we've always had show animals in the barn, so it's been something that's really important to us and our family.
Yeah, and what are some of the more memorable moments or most exciting things about having kids and showing animals and being involved in a county fair or a state fair? What's been great about it for you and your family?
You know, it's always fun to watch your kids show. It's just something that some families, thrive on. It's very important to them. And I would say the moments I'm most proud of is the adults that I've raised. I've got two daughters that are already out of college, and they are just incredible kids. And I would really like to credit 4-H and FFA for that. It's something that's really special in the development of youth.
Sure. Now, when did you get involved on the State Fair Commission? How long were you on that commission?
So this would have been my third year, I guess. Of course, the first year I was appointed days before the fair, so I had no input on that fair 3 years ago now, I guess. Of course, last year was canceled, and this year was canceled, so I have planned 2 livestock shows, and we've never had one, so I've never really got to do my job.
So, but you did resign from the State Fair Commission. I know the governor, as part of this effort to handle the pandemic, had issued a part of her health orders. You have to be vaccinated to go to the state fair this year, and you talk to a lot of parents of kids who want to be involved in the state fair. That just seemed to be a real issue for a lot of folks this year.
It really was. And I found out about this mandate on Facebook. It wasn't something that was presented to the commission. We had absolutely no voice on it. But of course, I was taking the heat immediately. I had parents calling me thinking that we made this decision, which of course we didn't. And, after looking into it, it didn't take long to figure out that the mandate, the time frame was wrong on it. We couldn't get our kids vaccinated even if we wanted to. So that really threw a red flag to me. It hit me where it hurts. And I also talked to another commissioner, Trudy Healy. She also resigns that very day. She's a huge supporter of 4-H and FFA. She's also the chairman of the Rodeo Commission, and I was chairman of the Livestock. So we decided that our constituents, per se, were the 4-H and FFA kids, and there's absolutely no way we could be a part of that fair knowing that our kids couldn't go.
Yeah. See, and you heard from all over the state, because especially in this part of the state, Tom, people were just really upset, angry, didn't know what to do. That they were so taken aback by this decision, and you were telling me yesterday that when did the decision come about to try to hold another fair, if you will, at the expo that has been announced? How did that kind of come about?
I think it was almost an immediate response. There's a committee that put it on last year, and it was just kind of a jackpot. We call it the end-of-season jackpot kind of a deal that just took the place of the state fair last year. Just gave the kids a place to show, but there was no sale involved with that. It was just jackpot money. Mm-hmm. So the same committee almost immediately formed and started working on this next show that we're having in Roswell. And it's going to be really good because this committee's already had a practice run last year, and this year we're incorporating a sale, which I think will be phenomenal. I've had support from all over the state. It blew my mind how many people got a hold of me and volunteered time and money to make this work for the kids.
So the support has been tremendous. The committee has picked Roswell, the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds in Roswell, to have this event. What about things like judges and auctioneers and all this type of thing? Have people been stepping up, and has it been difficult to find people to be a part of this event?
You know, the ag community kind of comes together when needed. And this committee has done a great job getting a hold of people and getting judges picked out and auctioneers and superintendents. And it's really not hard to get help when it's needed. You know what I mean? That people will step up and help you even if it's an inconvenience to them. And we can't thank Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds enough for stepping up immediately and saying that we could have this event at their facility. It means a lot to us, and it means a lot to the kids of New Mexico.
Yeah. Now, the obvious question for some folks is going to be, how are you going to be able, or how is this committee going to be able to have this event without a vaccination mandate? How will this be able to happen?
So, Eastern State Fairgrounds is primarily outside. I mean, these kids will almost never have to go indoors. So we will not be breaking any rules. It's not on state property. There's no inside mask use because there's no inside, basically. So we're going to follow the CDC guidelines and just have a good, fun show.
That's great. And the dates have been picked September 13th through the 17th. And you've got goats, swine, market lambs, dairy show, market steer. So you've pretty well covered all the different livestock that the kids normally would be able to show at a state fair.
Right. It'll be good, and the thing we're really excited about is the sale. Mm-hmm. We haven't, this will be the first time we've tried to have a sale. And if any of your listeners have the means to come out and help at the sale, buy a goat or whatever, we'd appreciate any help we can get at the sale on Friday at 1 o'clock.
Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock on the 17th. That's right. So that'll be real exciting. People at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, they were just happy to step up and offer their facility for this event?
Oh, yes. Like I said, the support was overwhelming. We really appreciate Eastern New Mexico State Fair for letting us have their facility for the week. And it's probably kind of a hardship on them because their show's coming up, just a couple weeks after we're done. So we really appreciate the use of their facility.
Yeah. Well, you've been involved in the ag community, and you mentioned this earlier that the community comes together. Are there other issues, other things that are going on in agriculture in New Mexico that people are having to deal with? Has the drought been bad across the entire state? And how do you handle all these windmills popping up everywhere across the state?
Yeah, I know. It has been a hard time for ag, especially up till about 1st of June. The drought was so bad that there was people selling all their cattle, and it was hard to make a crop on your farm. So that was rough on us, and then compounded with poor market prices on everything except for hay. And but if you had, nobody had hay. That's why it was so high. That was the bad part. But yeah, there's lots of issues that we're dealing with in agriculture right now, and of course, we're also getting a lot of pushback, on government regulations and such that it makes it harder and harder on us every year. And if these kids get pushed out of this project and don't come back to the farms, it's not going to be pretty in the future. There's not going to be any food to go around because we grow the food for America.
Definitely. And Tom, you make a great point because we're seeing that in New Mexico in a lot of different areas, but people don't often think about ag. If a kid is going to be inspired enough and motivated enough to go through the process of raising an animal, there has to be some kind of reward or some kind of payoff at the end. I think that's why it is important for an event like this expo to take place. Is that kind of the feeling that you're getting from everybody else in the Ag Committee, is we've got to do this for these kids?
Yep, that is it. You nailed it right on the head. That if these kids get frustrated and go off to college and decide they don't want to be an ag, then the ag industry and America is in a bad position if we don't have these kids coming back to the farms and ranches to provide food.
So, well, that's great. Well, folks want to participate, like you say, is the best thing for them to do to come to the sale. Is there anything else that you need help with, and who do folks contact if they want to, You've been on. You told me yesterday the phone has been permanently attached to your to your ear.
Yes.
But how do people help
support.
out? Yeah, that's great.
Really, we're in pretty good shape. If people could come to the sale and help us out the sale, that'd be incredible. As far as buying animals or whatever they can do, or add-ons, I want to make the sale just tremendous for these young people, because they deserve it. They really do deserve it, and they've been pushed out twice, and they feel like refugees now. But we're going to make it good for them.
Fantastic. It's the 2021 New Mexico Youth Livestock Expo, September 13th through the 17th at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds in Roswell, New Mexico. And Tom Spindle's been with us talking about it. Anything else you'd like to mention, Tom?
No, sir. Thank you for having me and getting the word out there. We really appreciate it.
Well, that's what we're here to do, and we look forward to working with you guys and making sure you have a successful event here in a couple of weeks. So, Tom, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
You bet.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Tom Spindle with us on the phone, and we appreciate his time. He just is busy with people calling and reaching out to help out and be a part of it. And again, it's coming up the 13th through the 17th of September in just a couple of weeks at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds in Roswell. And a lot of folks have stepped up to make this event possible. There have been tons of people that have basically withdrawn from the state fair in Albuquerque. They've pulled out, withdrawn, and we'll see how many of them decide to go ahead and enter this exhibition. We do know that the folks up in Oklahoma had also offered for animals to come to a sale and show as well.